ready to start the 12 kilometre race in Qatar, the season opener for the FIA World Endurance Championship. A new golden era of sports car racing begins here in Doha, Qatar. We are racing for the first of 335 laps. The number 5 Porsche on pole position. The Ferrari's already making a move around the outside, and that's Miguel Molina around the outside to try and take the lead into the first corner. Toyota's run wide, a spinning Peugeot, and it is the Ferrari that has the lead from the number 5 Porsche that started on pole position. And again, there is some of the value of knowing how to warm these tyres up that they learned the hard way last year. Ferrari and Porsche and Peugeot leaving the newcomers behind.
An amazing aggressive start there from Miguel Molina in the Ferrari number 50. Round the outside, he pinched Mike Conway momentarily, who had to back out of it. We saw one of the spinning Peugeots, number 94. And here goes the
83
Ferrari off the track as well, down at turn 6.
Now there's been a bit of argy-bargy in the front of the GT class, because one of the Peugeots and one of the BMWs have got away very slowly. It is still the TF Sport car that
there's
started
contact
on
there,
pole.
sorry Martin, contact there with the
contact.
Alpine and the Ferrari in turn 7. And again off track on the inside. They all know how hard this is going to be to overtake on this track, so they're trying to make the positions while they can.
Alpine up the inside of the 83 here with another lock-up for Robert Kubica, struggling there. I don't think the Alpine, those made it through.
Well, there's Nico Lapierre in the 36 Alpine. Couldn't get around the inside, can't get around the outside now. 12, 13, 14.
Seb Buemi has dropped back amongst all this, down into 14th place now.
And Jean-Carl Vernet in Isotta is now 2/3 of the way up the GT field, being led by TF Sports' Tom Van Rompuy.
One of the Ferraris off in the penultimate corner, 51. That was James Collado at the wheel there.
Okay, so that is multi-4 off, multi-4 off.
So
very good job, mate, very good job. Elbows out now, elbows out.
that'll be their launch control system or whatever to give him maximum in the first lap. But 3 wide further back, there is the private Ferrari, the lead BMW in the 35 Alpine.
Kubica's struggling here. He's been off the track briefly once with a couple of 3 brake lock-ups, holding up the new cars behind him.
That is the 36 Alpine. We ride on board in the BMW, and this is Marco Wittmann. Somebody already is in the pit lane, and that's not the Isotta, it's one of the McLarens.
59, it's Nico Costa in the 59 McLaren. We've got yellow flags at turn 1 at the moment, so I think that's the Mustang.
Yeah, 88 Mustang is going slowly, so has there been contact in the GT3 field? We'll catch up with that when we get a chance to catch our breath. But yes, in the yellow Ferrari, it is Robert Kubica who is struggling for pace. Marco Wittmann behind him, Nico Lapierre in the Alpine, and another pit caller.
No,
that is the safety car has made it in, the medical car at the tail of the field. Well, there's the McLaren, one of a pair run in orange and black by United Autosports. 59 was the number on the car that won at Le Mans, the Ueno Clinic McLaren F1 GTR Longtail, and the other car is number 95 because that was the year in which they won. On board with Mike Conway, the number 7 Toyota, currently down to 7th place from the outside of the front row of the grid.
I saw one car, it just flashed out of view, but one of the cars towards the back of this gaggle we're following here has some damage to the car.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Left rear it looked like. It's not Conway.
I would say stick to plan, Michael.
Yeah, what is plan? Should I try to push him or not push, but should I try to get by? That's my question.
Keep your tires under you. Keep the tires under you.
Yes, so this is going to be the big thing for them. I mentioned that you've got the tyre graining as a possibility, especially when the track is a bit more green at the start of the race before the rubber starts to get laid down. Following a car so closely like Christian is doing here, Christian is doing it with the Ferrari of Miguel Molina, you're in the turbulent air, you're in the wake of the car in front, and that's going to cause excessive sliding, unwanted sliding. So he's saying, well, what do you want me to do? Put pressure on him or drop back and look after the tyres? And interestingly, his engineer right back at him to say, look at the tyres. It's
Yeah,
all about that right now.
Because you've got to make them last a double stint. Looking at the GT class, the yellow Corvette is the leader, Tom Van Rompuy. Then the white Porsche, Alexander Malikin with the yellow highlights in second place, ahead of D Stations, Clement Mateur in the Aston Martin. 3 different brands in the top 3 as we get back to the Ferrari battle with Porsche for the lead of this race.
Yeah, Tom Van Rompuy, by the way, pulling away from Alex Malikin at this stage of the race. It was attention to the right rear on that McLaren number 59 in the garage for Nico Costa.
Giorgio Roda in the 88 Proton competition. Mustang has dropped a little back from the tail of the field again. For how many years? I don't know, 20 years we've been seeing Proton competition. Porsche, maybe 30 years. Now it's a Ford Mustang that they're running.
Look at this Peugeot hanging on with them as well. I mean, when was the last time we saw that? Probably Le Mans last year.
Yeah.
So this is still on the old concept of car. They've got a new one coming, we believe, after this race. But this smooth surface on this track and very little bumps is only a few years ago the whole track got resurfaced. I think it's serving the car really well.
Absolutely right. This is a car that was designed only for one job. That was to win Le Mans. Here's the number 6 Porsche having a look at the number 7 Toyota. So that is Lawrence Vantor all over the back of Mike Conway.
The 2 delayed cars at the start, by the way. The Isotta has cleared the GT traffic and is just hanging on about 5 seconds back from this train. Paul de Resta in the Peugeot number 94 that spun in 16th place and is making progress.
In fact, the Isotta is lapping quicker than the Lamborghini ahead of it. 45.0 last lap for Jean-Carl Vernet, 45.4 for the Lamborghini.
But compare that to a new fastest lap of the race that time around went to Michael Christensen, a 1:42.9. Yeah. Debris on track, we're told, between turns 15 and 16.
That may well be from the McLaren. Looking there again at Robert Kubica.
There's the damage I saw. The left front of Kubica's car.
Yeah,
I think that's when he tagged the Alpine.
Looks like it's dinked a headlight. Hasn't damaged the splitter. You can see the splitter is still there. Double yellows at the entry to corner 16, which
that's
means
for the debris.
Yeah, marshals will be looking to try and rush out and recover that before the field spreads out too much.
This is really interesting. So Christensen definitely looks like he's got the pace over Molina, but is Molina just managing things as well? And Christensen actually just dropping back ever so slightly.
Well, what do you do if you've got somebody behind you? You back him up towards the guys that are behind him. You don't let him have clear air behind. So that's if you can do that without opening the door for him, that's a great way of dealing with an attacker.
But what I'm seeing in this early phase of the race, the Porsches, they all look pretty racy, whether it's the Jota or the Works Porsche or the Proton Porsche. As we look now, running ball with Vantor, he's going to look to the inside. Conway wants to cover it, he does, so he's going to switch to the outside. And on the braking into turn 1, he's going to get the job done here by the looks of it. He runs right round the outside onto the dusty part, but what a move that was.
Yeah,
excellent stuff.
Fantastic stuff. Move up the order from the number 6 Porsche. Fastest race lap, by the way, has just been set by Nico Muller in the 3rd placed Peugeot. So everybody is now starting to feel the tyres under them. Well, the Peugeot was designed for Le Mans, which is medium to high speed and flat and long corners. This is even flatter, no chicanes, which is a Brucey bonus, and decent medium to high speed corners. It's the sort of track where the Peugeot should go well, and bingo, here it is.
Well, I talked to Anthony before we came here to ask him what this circuit was like, and I've talked to a number of the drivers since, and what they've said is the corners go on forever.
Yeah.